look around. How many people are endlessly chasing the next self-help book, the next guru, the next life-changing course? We're bombarded with promises of a better, more optimized self. But what if this constant pursuit is a trap? Think about it. You consume videos, books, podcasts, all fuel for your mind. You learn about mindfulness, how to manifest, limiting beliefs. But does anything really change? Do you feel like you're actually progressing or just perpetually preparing? Are you mastering the art of manifestation or merely gathering information about it? Here's the uncomfortable truth. For many, self-help becomes a sophisticated form of procrastination. It's a comfort zone disguised as growth. The subconscious message morphs into a dangerous mantra. You're not ready yet. Keep learning. You don't know enough. Growth becomes a delay tactic, a way to avoid the vulnerability of actually putting yourself out there. It allows you to hide behind the facade of self-improvement, while secretly fearing the spotlight. And the worst part? Some corners of the self-help industry subtly profit from you staying stuck. They whisper that you need more, that this next program will finally fix you. They perpetuate a cycle of self-doubt and dependency. They prey on your insecurities and capitalize on your desire for a better life. Without offering genuine solutions, it becomes a never-ending quest, a hamster wheel of self-improvement, where you're constantly chasing a moving target. But there's a way out. It's not about knowing more, it's about doing more. We need to shift the focus from internal consumption to external contribution. It's about breaking free from the paralysis of analysis and taking decisive action. It's about turning information into transformation and potential into performance. Let's break down 3 powerful shifts that can liberate you from this self-improvement prison. These shifts are designed to ignite your inner power, unleash your potential, and propel you towards a life of purpose and fulfillment. Information alone is useless. It's like having a toolbox full of shiny tools, but never building anything. How long have you been lost in the world of self-improvement books? The real magic happens when you take what you've learned and apply it in the real world. This is where theory meets reality, where action generates feedback, and where you can actually refine your understanding. It's where your knowledge becomes tangible and your potential becomes real. Imagine learning about effective communication. You can read countless books on the topic, but you won't truly master it until you're in the trenches, navigating real-life conversations, receiving feedback, and adjusting your approach. It's in the moments of awkwardness, miscommunication, and even conflict that you learn the most valuable lessons. It's through these experiences that you develop the skills and resilience necessary to become a truly effective communicator. Public application introduces accountability. It forces you to translate abstract concepts into tangible actions. It's about putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and embracing the discomfort of learning in real time. It's about overcoming your fear of judgment and stepping into the arena. It's about allowing yourself to be seen, to be heard, and to be challenged. What if you started treating what you already know as enough to share? What if you stopped waiting for the perfect moment and began experimenting with your knowledge in public? What if you started a blog, a podcast, or a YouTube channel to share your insights with the world? What if you offered your services as a coach, a mentor, or a consultant? What if you simply started sharing your thoughts and ideas with your friends, family, and colleagues? The possibilities are endless. The brain doesn't master ideas through mere repetition. It solidifies understanding by explaining, expressing, and connecting those ideas to lived experience. Think about it. When you try to explain a concept to someone else, you often discover gaps in your own understanding. It forces you to think critically, to analyze deeply, and to articulate clearly. It's through this process of creation that you truly master the material. Creating content, whether it's writing, speaking, teaching, or simply sharing your thoughts with others, forces you to process information on a deeper level. It compels you to synthesize, organize, and articulate your understanding in a way that resonates with others. It demands that you connect with your audience on an emotional level and that you inspire them to take action. When you consume passively, you're simply absorbing information. When you create, you're actively engaging with it. You're transforming information into knowledge and knowledge into wisdom. You're taking ownership of your learning and you're sharing your unique perspective with the world. And here's a subtle but powerful benefit. Creation shifts your identity. You stop being just a consumer of self-help and become a contributor. You become someone who shapes the conversation, inspires others, and adds value to the world. You become a leader, a role model, and a force for positive change. There comes a point where personal growth must stop being solely about fixing yourself and start being about contributing from who you've already become. You've done the inner work. You've sat with your shadows, healed old wounds, read the books, taken the courses, and rewritten the stories that once defined you. But continuing to endlessly dig into limiting beliefs, ironically, can strengthen them. The more you search for brokenness, the more broken you'll feel. At some point, you have to pause, look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm good enough, I've learned enough, I've healed enough, I have something valuable to offer. This isn't about arrogance or pretending you're flawless. It's about accepting yourself, messy parts included, and realizing that self-acceptance is not the end of growth, but the beginning of meaningful contribution. It's a shift from obsession with internal evolution to embracing external impact. It's the realization that the world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs a present, engaged, and authentic one. This is where real service begins. It's not performative. It's not born of ego. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and your capacity to make a difference, not someday, but today. It's about using the talents you've refined, the skills you've developed, and the hard-earned experiences you've endured to uplift the lives of others. It's about choosing purpose over perfection. Think about someone who has endured something deeply personal, like recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome, CFS. For years, their life might have been dictated by invisible limits, misunderstood by others, and marked by frustration. They could stay in that place, endlessly dissecting every setback. Or they could say, I've walked through this fire. Now let me help light the way for someone else. Their story, once a source of suffering, becomes a source of service. It becomes a handbook for survival, a community of compassion, a movement for awareness. Through vulnerability, they become a vessel of strength for others, still navigating the dark. And that's the turning point, when your healing is no longer just for you. When you pivot from internal analysis to external contribution, you unlock a new kind of fulfillment, one that self-help alone can never offer. You begin to experience growth not as a solo pursuit, but as a shared journey. You realize that your hardest chapters weren't a detour, they were preparation. They shaped you not just to survive, but to lead, not just to cope, but to create change. But what happens when self-help becomes self-harm? It sounds paradoxical, yet it's a trap many fall into. The wellness industry, for all its good intentions, can quietly convince you that you're never ready, that you always need another tool, another modality, another layer of inner work before you can begin. It's perfectionism in disguise, and instead of empowering you, it paralyzes you. It keeps you in preparation mode forever, reading, journaling, visualizing, but never acting. You start asking hard questions. How many years have I been preparing? When did growth become an excuse for avoidance? Am I afraid to step up because I'm still chasing the illusion of being fully healed? The truth? You don't need to be perfect to make an impact. You just need to be present. You just need to show up, as you are, with what you have. Someone out there doesn't need your perfection. They need your honesty. They need your scars, your lessons, your perspective. They need to hear that it's okay to be in process. The antidote to this cycle is action, translating your inner work into outward contribution, turning your reflections into expressions, moving from insight to influence. It's not about shouting from a stage. It could be writing a blog post, starting a support circle, launching a project, or just showing up more fully for your community. It's stepping out of hiding and letting your voice be heard, even if it trembles. Sharing your insights, no matter how simple, is a sacred form of contribution. It's how intelligence meets compassion. It's how your story becomes someone else's survival guide. It's how one voice becomes a movement. Every act of expression, no matter how small, creates a ripple. And sometimes, that ripple is exactly what someone else needs to keep going. When your insights touch others, something shifts. You don't just feel smart, you feel purposeful. You feel seen in a way that self-reflection alone could never provide. You begin to live in a new paradigm. One where growth is measured not by how much you've fixed, but by how much you've offered. You step into a higher form of self-help, one you can't access from the sidelines. It's the self-help of service, the healing that multiplies, the transformation that no longer needs to be perfect to be powerful. So, ask yourself, have you been waiting for permission that was never yours to wait for? Have you forgotten that maybe, just maybe, you already have everything you need? Maybe all this growth wasn't meant to stay in a journal, hidden on a shelf. Maybe the final lesson is not about more learning, but about becoming visible. What if your potential is not waiting for more answers, but waiting for your courage? So, what now? It's time to break free from the endless cycle of self-help consumption. It's time to step into your power, embrace your imperfections, and share your unique gifts with the world. It's time to stop chasing perfection and start embracing progress. It's time to stop trying to become and start allowing yourself to become visible. Comment below, what's one insight you've carried in silence for far